بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله ومن والاه. Arabic and English or Arabic? What do you prefer? English? Hi. توكلنا على الله. I came to know about the Eritrean problem probably about 25 years ago. That was during one of my early visits to Sudan. I met a group of Eritreans who came to Khartoum from the refugee camps. And I was really shocked at the time to have learned from them the enormity of the calamity the Eritrean people were suffering, were subjected to. And that's why when we launched Al-Hawar channel and I was approached by our brothers and comrades, I immediately ordered a weekly hour for Eritrea, because I believe firmly that the Eritrean cause is a just cause. In many ways, your plight is similar to the Palestinian plight, my own people's plight. Reading about Eritrea and the history of its calamity is not much different from reading about the calamities of the Arabs elsewhere in the region. Arabs and non-Arabs, the entire region that was once targeted by colonial powers. Every colonial authority, upon leaving the region, left behind a chronic problem, left behind a formidable obstacle to prevent the locals from ever rising, from ever regaining their freedom and their dignity. And the reason for this is that there is so much potential in our part of the world, whether we talk about Asia or we talk about Africa. These regions were once the cradle of civilization. These were the regions that provided resources for much of the development that took place in the past couple or 3 centuries across Europe and the rest of the world. The minerals, the resources, the strategic locations, looking at the map of Eritrea, all this nearly 1,000 kilometers along the Red Sea, very similar to that line of the Levant, starting from South Turkey all the way down to Sinai, which now has become Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, which is occupied, and it is called in the West Israel, but it is still Palestine, and then all the way down to Egypt. The strategic locations of these areas. I'm not here to just place blame on the Western powers or the former colonial authorities. The real problem we have is with ourselves. The elite, the political elite, some of whom led our liberation movements, later on turned to be our tormentors. In your case, it's called the Popular Front, isn't it? Very similar to every other liberation project across the region. Algeria, look at Algeria. The Algerian people who sacrificed more than 1 million martyrs for Algeria to be free from France. The Egyptians who struggled against British colonialism and ended up, like Algeria and many other parts, being ruled by despotic, corrupt military juntas that turned to be the real enemy of the people. Just like in Eritrea, where they used the conflict with Ethiopia as a pretext to imprison people, to conscript them despite their unwillingness to be conscripted for unlimited periods of time. In Egypt, they used the Zionist occupation of Palestine as a pretext to deny people their freedom and dignity. The same in Iraq, the same in Syria. Wherever you go, it's the same problem. The lack of freedom, the hegemony of minority elites, whether in the form of republics or in the form of kingdoms, that persecuted, oppressed, and suppressed the entire population. They are our real problem. And that's why the real struggle is back home. What we do here in the UK or what we do in other places where we enjoy freedom to hold a meeting like this, I bet you cannot hold even 1/10 of this in Eritrea. You cannot hold anything, even 1/100th of this in Egypt today, where they have no less than 60,000 political prisoners today in Sisi's prisons. Here, where we enjoy the freedom of movement, the freedom of speech, we can express support, we can express solidarity, we can try and enlighten public opinion about the plight of the Eritrean people and the other peoples. But the real struggle is back home, where the Palestinian people need to continue their endeavor to liberate themselves from Zionism, where the Egyptian people, the Algerian people, the Sudanese people, and I wish to seize this opportunity to express full solidarity with the popular movement in Sudan, because no tyranny is acceptable in whatever name, whether it is in the name of Islam or in the name of Christianity or in the name of secularism or in the name of communism. Tyranny and despotism is the enemy of the people, and we cannot allow it to persist. If the military that seems to have reshuffled itself in Sudan is sincere about making changes, let's see them turn government into a civilian, democratically elected government. The same in Algeria, the same everywhere. So you see, the real struggle is back there, and it is our duty to show solidarity and help our brothers and sisters until they are free. And of course, today we are marking the day of the detainees, of the prisoners, of the disappeared in Eritrea. We can do the same thing for every spot in that geography, from Morocco all the way to the Gulf and even beyond, from the Levant all the way to sub-Saharan Africa or even to tropical Africa. I, on this occasion, wish to express my full support and solidarity for the struggling people of Eritrea, and I assure you of my full commitment and my channel's full commitment to support your cause. Thank you very much.